After understanding how traditional phishing and malware attacks operate, you now move into a lesser known but increasingly dangerous area of modern cyber threats: the abuse of trusted and forgotten file types. One such file type is the Windows screensaver file, commonly ending in .scr. What appears outdated and harmless has quietly become a powerful tool for attackers, and understanding this shift is critical for both individuals and organizations. Modern cyber attacks are no longer always loud or obvious. Instead, many are subtle, patient, and designed to blend into normal behavior. The abuse of screensaver files reflects this evolution. Attackers are not breaking systems through complex exploits. They are walking in through doors that were never considered risky in the first place. In this video, you focus on how attackers are leveraging Windows screensaver files to gain unauthorized access, why these attacks are difficult to detect, how they impact real organizations, and what you can do to recognize and address this risk within your own environment. When you think about screensavers, you likely associate them with inactivity, visual animations, or something from an earlier era of computing. Most people no longer actively configure screensavers, which makes them easy to forget. Attackers take advantage of this familiarity and neglect. A Windows screensaver file is not just a visual element, it is an executable program. This means it can run code, install software, and interact with the operating system just like any other application. The problem is not the file itself, but the assumption that it is safe. For you, this highlights an important reality of cybersecurity. Risk is not always where you expect it to be. Attackers focus on what you overlook, not what you fear. To understand the risk clearly, you need to understand how these attacks typically unfold. The attack often begins with a carefully crafted email that appears legitimate. You may be told that a document requires review, an invoice needs confirmation, or a shared file is waiting for your attention. The message is professional, context-aware, and designed to avoid suspicion. Instead of a traditional malicious attachment, you are directed to download a file with a .scr extension. It may be hosted on a well-known cloud platform, which further reduces suspicion. When you open the file, you may see little or no visible output, but behind the scenes, the file executes code that installs a legitimate remote monitoring or remote access tool. Because these tools are commonly used by IT teams, they are often trusted by security software. No alert is triggered, no warning is displayed. At that moment, the attacker gains persistent access to your system. For you, this demonstrates how attackers increasingly rely on trust, legitimacy, and normal behavior rather than brute force. One of the most concerning aspects of this technique is how quietly it operates. Traditional malware relies on signatures, known malicious behavior, or exploit patterns. Screensaver-based attacks rely on none of these. The file type itself is rarely scrutinized. The remote access tool is legitimate. Network traffic appears normal. Administrative actions look routine. From the perspective of many security controls, nothing unusual is happening. For professionals, this reinforces an important lesson. Detection is no longer just about identifying malicious tools. It is about understanding misuse of legitimate ones. For general users, it highlights why instinct and awareness matter just as much as technology. Once attackers establish remote access, they gain time and visibility. They can observe how systems are used, identify valuable data, and understand internal processes. In some cases, attackers use this access to quietly exfiltrate sensitive information over long periods. In others, they wait until the moment is right to deploy ransomware or disrupt operations. Organizations impacted by similar techniques have included professional services firms, education providers, healthcare organizations, and small businesses. the damage is not limited to financial loss. Trust, reputation, and operational continuity are often affected long after the incident is resolved. For you, this illustrates why early stage access matters so much. The most damaging attacks often begin with something that seemed insignificant at the time. No organization is immune to this technique. Environments that allow users to execute files freely, lack application control, or do not monitor remote access tools closely are especially vulnerable. Smaller organizations are often targeted because they rely heavily on trust and have limited security oversight. Larger organizations may be targeted because of their data and complexity. Individuals are also at risk, particularly those who work remotely, handle documents regularly, or assume that unusual file types are harmless. For you, this reinforces that security is not just an enterprise concern. It is a shared responsibility that spans roles, sizes, and industries. Attentiveness is your strongest early defense. Unexpected screensaver files, unfamiliar remote access software, or unexplained system behavior should always be questioned. For organizations, unexplained administrative sessions, new services appearing on endpoints, or access occurring outside normal hours are important signals. These indicators are not accusations. They are prompts to investigate. Early action can prevent long-term damage. For you, learning to recognize subtle changes is just as important as understanding major alerts. Mitigation begins with awareness and policy. Screensaver files should be treated as executable code and restricted accordingly. Email and download controls should block or flag .scr files by default. Application allow listing should ensure that only approved remote access tools can run. Security teams should regularly audit remote management software and ensure that every installation is authorized and documented. Users should be educated to question unusual file types and unexpected downloads, even when they appear professional. For you, this demonstrates how small changes in behavior and configuration can significantly reduce risk. The screensaver attack is not just about one file type. It is a lesson in how cyber threats evolve. Attackers adapt faster than habits change. They exploit assumptions, convenience, and gaps in attention. Cybersecurity today is not about knowing one threat. It is about learning how attackers think and recognizing patterns of misuse. For you, this understanding makes you more resilient, regardless of your role or technical background. By the end of this video, you should clearly understand why something as simple as a screensaver can become a serious security threat. The danger lies not in the technology itself, but in the assumptions surrounding it. When you stay attentive, question the unexpected, and treat trust with care, you dramatically reduce your exposure to silent attacks like this one. Cybersecurity is no longer just about protection. It is about awareness, judgment, and responsibility. In future videos, you will continue to explore how overlooked areas of technology and behavior can become critical security risks if not managed deliberately. If this video helped you see how modern cyber threats exploit trust and familiarity, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share your thoughts or questions in the comments. Your engagement helps spread awareness and strengthens the security mindset of the wider community.